Hello, my souls, and welcome back to Stranded Deep. Also, I do apologize for the late start to the stream. I've been dealing with a lot of angry people who have essentially come and decided to mass report and mass downvote this channel, as well as sit and harass me on Twitter, which honestly I didn't expect to, not happen. Outraged people in cancel culture. It's a thing. Anyways, hello Nova, hello Pyro, hello Aiden. Lem. It's allowed, yes, but a lot of people think it's tacky. It's a long story, Nova. Long story short, though, I may have just had some help cracking an interesting case. With proof, mind you, of a person intentionally harassing another person for the sake of buying their persona off of them and buying their suit from them. And the fun part is, their idea went from buying, from what I gather, to using a pedophilia accusation to attempt to force them to give it to them, not buy it. Yeah. Nova, you know me. You know I have the whole insightful mind thing. Or not insightful, inquisitive mind thing. I like to talk to people who are accused and find out information for myself. Give the bully to the Megalodon. Oh, and the best part about all of this, by the way, the people that are sitting here harassing me, and actually a couple of them have threatened me already, which is kind of cute, actually. I mean, it makes me giggle that people think they can, just sit there and harass somebody and, one, not get in trouble, and two, not have any repercussions. Even if they don't get in trouble normally, they're still going to get people pissed off at them. And yes, I know that's sort of the same thing. Poodling is where you legitimately show skin when in a fursuit. So, for example, wearing just paws and a head, that's poodling. And actually, apparently, there are some conventions where poodling is not allowed. Although I guess the amount of conventions that have that rule are probably pretty rare. It's pretty low. Oh, switching from Fallout to this does not help my brain. I keep trying to use Y to jump. Why? Oh, it's how most shaved poodles look, yeah. Okay. So, by the way, folks, I am going to be getting a metric fuck ton of fibrous material tonight. Yeah, that tends to happen. Okay. So I'm going to put that there. We're going to go get some fibrous materials. I'm going to go over to this island first. I killed like 2 or 3 of your fucking people last stream. Do you really, really want to do this? Senbun Sakura. You're right. It does. At least I believe it does. I'd have to put it through a translator and... I'd have to put it through a translator, but if pronounced right, I think that, yeah, that's about what it means. And Nova's right. Never let the haters get you down. I personally am actually pretty used to being hated. Mostly because of the fact that, due to the fact that I like to ask questions, I've had a lot of people that don't like me. So I've seen hate pretty much for the last, I'd say 22 years, as a constant part of my life. But I tend to take the good with the bad. Oh, I'm aware, Nova. There we go. I'll give you time to go away, If you're not gone by the time I get back, I'm gonna kill you. Well, now I know where I need to go for grabbing sticks. But yeah, we're very much gearing up to be able to kill the Great Abaya next. Which, for those of you who don't know it by name, that's a giant sea serpent. It's another kind of noodlefish. What the fuck are you? It's a kura fruit. I'm gonna need to make a... I'm gonna need to make a farming plot for that. What's up, Freemander? What's the weird thing that happened to you? I'm gonna try going out to that island over there next, or maybe that island over there next. Maybe that island over there. Okay. Now let's see. Is the Sharky Deer still here? Nope, it ran away. It was smart. That's a little disturbing, actually. There we go. Finally raised the go blanket. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to go to that island over there. It's that island over yonder. Anyways. Actually, I wouldn't suggest either of those, Pyro, because in some areas, in some countries and in some states, keeping a weapon like that in any, or for any reason, can be seen as, essentially concealing a deadly weapon. I know where I'm from, if you're carrying a knife, very specifically a fixed blade knife, not one of the folding ones. But if you're carrying a fixed blade knife where I'm from, you're completely within your right. If you're carrying a baseball bat, it's a felony charge. Like, if you're carrying a baseball bat for the sake of protection, or if you're carrying any blunt weapon for the sake of protection, it's a felony charge. Reason being, by the way, for those who don't know, it's easier to actually kill somebody with a bladed weapon. It's not as easy to kill somebody with a blunt weapon. However, well, actually, that depends, Freeman. If you're living in an area where they haven't tried to modify or repeal 2A laws, then if the area you're at is an open carry place, like if you're allowed to open carry where you're at, then go for it. By all means, carry it. But the reason why where I'm at it's illegal to carry a blunt weapon is because while a blunt weapon is more difficult to kill somebody with, it's a lot easier to leave lasting scars and disfigurement, as well as lasting injuries such as broken bones. And I don't know if you know this, but a good example, if somebody gets hit in the ribs with a, like, for example, a baseball bat, one, it's gonna absolutely screw up their day. It's going to very likely leave broken ribs, but if you swing hard, or if they swung hard enough, the ribs will break to a point where they will never actually properly heal, which can lead to things like, a inability to breathe properly. You can also very easily break somebody's ribs and, in a way that does something like, say, puncture a lung, which means they would have to live the rest of their life, if they survive, without that lung. Hi, Miles. Nom noses. But yeah, by the way, guys, for the record, yes, I do make a habit of studying laws. The reason being is because the legal system has always fascinated me. I'm gonna sit in the shade and let myself regenerate SPF for a sec. You know, I've thought about it, but quite honestly, it's not really a job I want to do. I mean, law fascinates me, but no. See, I have this thing. I'm okay with protecting and aiding people that I believe are right. That I believe are in the right and haven't done anything wrong legally. If you put me in a situation where I am 100% certain that the person I am having to defend is guilty of what they're accused of, I can't do it. I can't do it. I would not be able to do it at all. What do I think about BLM? I believe the, what's the word? The, purpose behind the movement is admirable. I don't believe the movement itself is. And, yeah, I'll go on record there saying I don't like BLM. Very specifically because I've seen too many instances, both online and personally, where BLM activists have assaulted and even attempted to kill people, screaming things like, Black Lives Matter, you faggot! I am very much against hate in all forms. When you use hate to fight hate, you are no better than the person you are fighting. And yes, that is me legit saying I believe BLM is, to an extent, a hate group. Because while the original group may not have been, the groups that have co-opted it and use it now to essentially give a reason to, or to essentially use it as a reason to harass, attack, defame, what have you, anyone who uses it for those reasons, they're essentially, well, for lack of a better word, they're making the movement look bad. And the fact that Black Lives Matter activists have sided with them and have chosen to essentially, you know, go, if you're not with us, you're against us, I see that as a dangerous thing. And I very much see it as the activists themselves going, we're okay with people hurting people if it gets our message across. I'm not okay with that. I'll very likely never be okay with that. I actually don't believe Antifa is a good practice. I don't believe they are good in any way. I do not believe they are just in any way, because, very specifically, and trust me, I'm saying this from a point of having experienced being in a movement very much like this at one point. They don't care. They don't care. Their only reason for existing is they believe that the government is corrupt. They will cite everything that they can to try to prove this belief. And when they can't prove it, they become violent, and then when the government or the police show up, they then scream that they're a victim. I have watched Antifa groups, I have watched groups like Antifa encourage their members, including their younger members, to actively carry weapons and attempt to kill people. Ew. Anti-fascism in concept is a good thing. However, Antifa in all of its iterations, every single time a Antifa-esque group has popped up, it's been against people who are not legitimately fascist, and it tends to devolve into that group becoming fascist. Or rather, becoming fascistic. The reason behind it is, well, let's put it this way. The current American group Antifa are actually fascists. Which is kind of funny. Under fascism, like, a good example, a fascist government would silence its people, dictate what its people are allowed to do, say, and what have you, dictate the beliefs that their people are allowed to have, and punish any form and all forms of dissent. What does Antifa as a group do? Also, this is a double no-no. It is dark, and I'm on the fucking... it's dark, and I'm in a storm. Not okay with this. Let me put it to you this way, Miles. I do not believe that any group whose main charter and main purpose is to cause violence or to use violence to any end. I don't like them. I have tried my entire life to be a peaceful person. On the few occasions where I've had no choice and was forced to fight for some reason or another, it has usually been something that I hate doing. I legitimately don't like hurting people. And I absolutely detest any group that does. I detest any person who actively enjoys hurting others. It's just not something I can get behind. Oh yeah, by the way, another argument that I need to point out, because you guys got me onto a subject that y'all know I'm gonna rant about. I do promise this won't actually become a true rant, but Antifa claims that Antifa members and supporters claim that Antifa isn't a single group. It isn't a group in any way. There's no power structure, there's nothing like that. Look up Rose City Antifa. They have leaders. They have a power structure. They have ranks. They are a militant group, dude. They are as close to being a militia as you can get without carrying guns. And the worst part is, when they say they don't carry guns, that's a bold-faced lie. Hey, Shan. Regardless, though, when it comes to groups like Black Lives Matter, very specifically, I'm okay with activist groups that go out and protest. If it is a protest. I'm sorry, when a protest becomes a riot, if the protesters do not immediately stand up and go, no, this is fucking wrong, this is not our message, then there is something inherently wrong with the group. Because anyone who is willing to let others use their movement, use their beliefs and something they care so deeply about to cause suffering, that's not a group I want to get behind. I'm sorry. And I know that statement's probably going to piss a lot of people off eventually. But realistically, I was raised to believe that no matter what your skin color, what your race, your nationality, your gender, no matter what, every person is equal. They may not be treated like it under the law, and that's a fucking crying shame. And I would gladly see the laws changed to make sure that everyone is considered equal. But trying to force the change of a law through violence and murder is not okay. Go for it, Hunter. Most people know I am an open book. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you're not comfortable asking publicly, go for it. Contact me in private. I'm completely fine with that. No. Let me put it to you this way. I do not believe the issues that led to BLM being created are bad. I don't believe the protesters specifically are bad. It is the people that are harming others in their name. The fact that BLM has, to a degree, not spoken up and said, this is not our message, these are the actions of people working of their own volition, this is not our message. If they would simply come out and say that, I'd gladly support them. I'd gladly support anyone who's going to fight for their rights. Peacefully. The minute you start either remaining silent about people who are using your name to commit violent acts, or even worse, when your own people start violently attacking others, which, yes, this has happened, that's when it stops being a protest and you start, having the major issue of people are not gonna like you. Realistically, though, I do see a need for groups like Black Lives Matter to an extent. I wish it wasn't the case. I really do. Because, like I said, I was raised to believe that everyone is equal and should be treated as such. I actually long for the day where groups like Black Lives Matter are no longer needed because there is true equality. I just don't like the fact that so many people are willing to use violence to that end. Well, thank you, Volk. Thank you, Shan. Lemon faces. Realistically, had Black Lives Matter done what it... Had Black Lives Matter done things properly, I'd be all in support of them. I'm sorry. There have been too many times in the past, not even just this issue, not even just this set of protests. I legit watched a group of Black Lives Matter protesters going through a busy-ass residential zone. Like, a place where people were trying to sleep because they had work in the morning at 3 a.m. with megaphones belting out, "All cops deserve to die." I'm sorry? No. And that was actually a couple of years ago. That wasn't even connected to this issue. Some of the... okay, specifically the leaders, I could believe it. I will say this, though. I have met members of the Black Lives Matter movement who I actually respect. Because there are some out there who legitimately are working for the sake of equality. They want to see the world change, and they want to see everyone held to the exact same standards. They want to see everyone shown equal respect. But a good portion of their movement is controlled by people who would willingly attack me just for what I'm saying now. I mean, shit. I have a video sitting on my computer right now of two guys who are, by the way, mind you, white as fucking milk, on behalf of Black Lives Matter, knocking a dude to the ground and then kicking him in the teeth. Like, directly in the fucking head. Trying to kill him. On behalf of Black Lives Matter because he dared to say that, quote, I don't necessarily support this group. They didn't even give him time to finish what he was saying either. He was just like me. He was trying to say, I don't support the group. I support the message, but not the group because of what they've done in the past. They legitimately tried to murder him for this. One of the people who kicked him in the fucking head, legit, when he was down and was not moving, called out, don't worry, stop kicking him, he's dead, he's dead. I'm sorry. I can't get behind that. Ever. No, he's not. Thankfully, he actually didn't die. He wound up with a severe concussion, has permanent brain damage, and lost 5 teeth. But he's not dead, at least. The dude legit has a permanent stutter now, because he was literally beaten nearly to death by Black Lives Matter activists. You see why I don't like them? I mean, I'm all for fucking fighting for your rights. I'm not for literally trying to kill people who are different or who have a different opinion. I'm sorry, that's just a horrifying no. Hello, Devil. Devil Star, or whatever the fuck it's called. That's okay, Dark. Our Dark Dragon. Hey, Tess. Rise in the east, set in the west. Means home is that way somewhere. Hey, cool. Oh, no, I was talking about a situation in which 2 Black Lives Matter protesters, or not protesters actually, they were Black Lives Matter activists, knocked a dude, chased a dude, knocked him down, and then kicked him repeatedly in the head in an attempt to kill him. See, the funniest part about it is, a pair of girls from Black Lives Matter, specifically 2 black girls, came up and started heckling this guy as they were bringing him medical supplies to try to show that, hey, we're the ones helping you. You caused this. And all the while, they were doing things like calling him fucking cracker, honky, and fucking flat out calling him faggot. Not okay with that. That, and I'm sorry, I decry racism in all forms. For anyone who believes that it's impossible to be racist against a white dude, that's racist. Because I'm sorry. I can show you what the fucking... Well, I can show you quite literally what racism means. I grew up in a area that was predominantly black. When I was really young, I was in an area that was predominantly black. I shit you not, I got beaten half to death when I was younger because the neighborhood kids didn't like me because I was a different color than them. They literally chased me with baseball bats, tire irons, and fucking giant-ass sticks for like 7 blocks. The only reason I'm fairly certain that they didn't hit me, didn't actually manage to get to me, was because when I finally passed out from oxygen deprivation, because I wasn't breathing right, because I had an asthma attack after the 2nd block. It's what you use to take the nuts off a tire when you're changing a tire. If I hadn't literally collapsed against my mother's car as she was pulling into the driveway, I'm fairly certain I wouldn't have survived. Because they were legitimately screaming about how they were gonna kill me. So... Dark already said his not no, Dark didn't. That was you. Sorry, my brain's gone into weird mode. I think when the sun comes up, I'm gonna have to start searching around. For, home, specifically. Anyways, off of that particular topic, how is everybody in chat today? Oh, I am close to home. I'm actually very close to home. Okay. Okay, this means my home is probably the one right there. No. There? And yeah, I already rated this this island for fibrous materials. You know, while the sun... we go. Sharky meat. You do get compasses in this game, but there's a reason I don't have one. I've actually always been really good at finding, you know, like, finding directions using stars or what have you. And in this case, rises in the east, sets in the west. So that's west right there. Which means, if memory serves... Ooh, I'm really glad I didn't just get bit. So, east. I believe home should be that way. Wait. Yeah, home should be that way. If not, there's also a landmark I can find if I go straight east. There's a major landmark I can use if I just go straight east. And actually, you know what? I'm just gonna straight go that way. The reason being is, if I can find the ship that is on the northeastern coast, or not northeastern coast, the northeastern edge of the map, I can find my way home from there easily. And if on my way there I should happen to spot home, well, yay. What are you talking about, Hero Brian? Also, this is gonna bug me. Because there's another sea shanty that I want to sing. That looks like the one right near the... That's not home. Hello, Sharky Shark. Yeah, you're just a tiger shark. Now, I could technically go and check the map, see where I am. I don't technically want to do that. Okay, there's nothing off the distance there. Which means I'm at the edge of the map on the north, I believe. So I'm literally skirting the edge of the map on the north right now. So I'm going to go this way. Towards that island over there. Also, oh, Sally Brown, she's the gal for me. Boys roll, boys roll. Sally Brown, she's the gal for me. Boys way high, Sally Brown. It's down to Trinidad to see Sally Brown. Boys roll, boys roll, boys roll. Down to Trinidad to see Sally Brown. Boys way high, Sally Brown. She's lovely on the foreyard, she's lovely down below. Boys roll, boys roll, boys roll. She's lovely 'cause she loves me, that's all I got to know. Boys way high, Sally Brown. It is. It's actually a much older song than what was on Black Flag. But yes, it was on Assassin's Creed. There's the ship I was talking about. If the ship is there, There's an island right over here that is a stone mesa island. Which means home is just on the other side of that island. I actually passed it. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's just, for a second I thought that was a mast sticking out of the, random part of the ocean. Oh, Captain Baker, how do you store your cargo? Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll. Some I stow forward and some I stow after. Way high, Sally Brown. There's 40 fathoms or more below, boys. Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll. 40 fathoms or more below, boys. Way high, Sally Brown. Way high, and up she rises. Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll. Way high, and the blocks is different sizes. Way high, Sally Brown. One more pull, don't you hear the mater bawling? Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll. One more pull, that's the end of our hauling. Way high, Sally Brown. Sally Brown, she's the gal for me, boys. Well, roll, boys, roll, boys, roll. Sally Brown, she's the girl for, or gal for me, boys. Way high, Sally Brown. Whew. Hello, Freemander. Om nom nom face. You know what? Since I'm passing it and I know this particular island has a decent amount of stuff. By the way, my home should be literally right there. Let's have a race, Sharky Shark! You lose! Oh, I've already hit this island. Okay. I might get bit by a shark. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, it's right there. I can actually even see the tree outline. Let's see, what's another good one? Oh, another good one. I need to wet my whistle first, though. I'm gonna probably end up with heat stroke. Oh, a poor old man came riding by, and we say so, and we know so. Yes, a poor old man came riding by, that poor old man. Ooh, what was the next verse? Fuck. It's been so long since I've had a reason to sing these shanties. So. Oh, a poor old man came riding by, and we say so, and we know so. Yes, a poor old man came riding by, that poor old man. Says I, old man, your horse will die. Yes, we say so, and we know so. And if he dies, we'll tan his hide, oh poor old man. And if he don't, I'll ride him again, and we say so, and we know so. And I'll ride him till the Lord knows when, oh poor old man. Oh, he's dead as a nail in the lamp room floor, 'cause we say so, and we know so. And he won't come worrying us no more, oh poor old man. We use the hair of his tail to sew our sails, and we say so, and we know so. And the iron of his shoes to make deck nails, oh poor old man. I love old sea shanties. So, to point something out, Dark Dragon, the number is, it needs to be exact for one, and your name is case sensitive, so if you have any capitals in there on Discord, it requires you to put the capitals in as well. Also, I should also point out that there is a much easier way to do all of this, folks. If you want to friend each other on Discord, you could always join our Discord server and just kind of connect through there. We have a link in the description of the of every video that I do that leads to the channel's Discord server. Weird. All right. Alright, let's see how many things of rope we can make. Or, I believe they're called lashings. I'll leave those for the sake of water. Because, yeah, it looks like we're gonna need water. I like to try to keep those guys at about half. made one of those and I didn't need to. That was not what I intended to do. Now, if I can... First things first, I'm gonna go sleep and save my game. And then I'm going to go out and get both wood and, a bit more, what's it called? Fiber. Freeman, I don't really know how to tell you how to write a proper script. Most of my scripts are, not what most people would consider a proper script. The way I write my scripts, they look more like essays. And the Awoo bushes, very specifically, are meant for regaining my water supply, so that's a thing. And yes, I called them Awoo bushes. Because Awoo. What's this? Notices your fiber! Sorry guys, I couldn't resist. I would say separate the paragraphs if you're going to do a, like... If you're gonna do a monologue, just separate the paragraphs. If you're going to do a full script, like with actual voice actors required, make certain that the dialogue is marked for which actor or which character is being, or is speaking at the time. Because if you don't, you'll confuse the shit out of people reading it. Alright. So I've actually got, I think, more food in this game right now than I can actually deal with. So that's a thing. There we go, just phase me through the boat. So I'm going to be going to that island over there because it has a lot of wood and a lot of fiber. At least I think it's got a decent amount of fiber. Actually, you know what? I should probably restore my fiber stores and bring back just straight wood. Because I'm going to need to make equipment to kill the Megalodon after this one as well. Because most of the ammo that I'm making, most of the weapons I'm making, are kind of going to go away when I kill the other noodle fish. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm done building the arsenal. I've got 24 arrows and 18 refined spears. Which, remember, with the refined spears last time, I was able to do the... I was essentially able to kill it last time, or kill the squid last time with, or get just about halfway to his health with just 8 spears. Or halfway through his health with just about 8 spears. If I can hit a good number of those 18 spears on that, eel, I probably shouldn't have too much trouble with, you know... What's the word? Fighting it. Or I shouldn't have to use too many of my arrows, which means I won't have to gain more arrows when I go and fight the next boss. I'll just have to replace the spears. I only get one more refill of this today. Or I only get one more refill of this today, by the way, so... And, for the record, this is not a tank. It's a RDA, so it's a rebuildable drip atomizer. It can only hold about 20 drops. So, by 4 of these a day, I'm only giving myself 80 drops a day. I'm going to slowly lower that number. And I'll probably use it again later on, like at a later date. But more often than not, it's just going to be, you know, hanging out with friends or going to a convention. I'll do it for the sake of flavor. Then again, at only 4 tanks a day, I've got something like a quarter gallon of liquid for this. So it'll take me probably a year for this to go and run out of fluid. So, at very least, I'm setting myself a reasonable goal. I'm essentially going to try to stop using this by middle of next year, essentially. Ah! Stoppy thing! I need to stop! Okay. Hey, hey, another storm, meaning more water! no, there were actually a lot of really, really good sea shanties on Black Flag. Sticky. I have this really, really weird habit of counting when I do things like this. And you guys will actually notice it more and more as I play games that are like, if I play a resource gathering game, there are times that I will flat out count what I'm picking up. It's because I used to essentially be a live-in nanny for my nephew. And, well, I heard a nope beetle. But yeah, no, I used to be essentially a live-in nanny for my nephew at one point, and me and him had this thing we did whenever he was, like when he was really little, when he was learning to count. Anytime I would do anything that involved numbers of any kind, I would sit there, pull him aside, and go, okay, so we're gonna count. We're gonna count how many this takes for us to do. And I would start counting as I did things. So it was quite literally just 1, 2, 3, and then I'd have him start counting when I stopped. He actually learned to count really fucking fast doing that. Kid was like 2 years old and got all the way up to 20 at one point. He had to stop when we got to 10 because he didn't know how to go higher. So I counted with him the first time, and the second time he got them all fucking almost perfect. The only one he didn't get right was, I think, 16. Kids are, weirdly enough, a lot smarter than a lot of people will give them credit for. If you give them a way to learn, if you give them something that will actually, get their brain working, and then sit there and repeat the process with them a couple times, they'll very quickly pick it up on their own. The only thing that I disliked that I remember about being a live-in nanny for that kid was the fact that he was absolutely obsessed with My Little Pony. He would throw a fit if it wasn't on when he wanted to watch it. It's one of the reasons why I gave him and his mom access to my Netflix account so they could watch it. He's like 8 or 9 years old now, and I think he actually has gone to a My Little Pony convention, which not surprised because his mom was a fan too. So. Oh. He actually got in trouble because of that show at one point, though. He was told that, and this is actually a really cute and really kind of funny story, because this kid was 2 years old, and he had friends at the park where we always went and played that absolutely loved school. And I don't think they had him enrolled at that point because still, you know, still technically too young. I think kindergarten is what, 4 years old? So what I did was I essentially told him that I'd be his teacher for a little while, and I gave him these little weird packets of just random stuff to do, like, you know, what color is this, that, the other thing, draw this shape. And the rule was he had to finish a packet every day before he got to watch the show. So, one time he tried to be a little bit of a wise ass, and I gave him a shapes packet, which was just draw this shape, and each shape I had essentially drawn out for him. He tried drawing a circle on every single one of them, and then said that he was done, and I'm sitting there going, there's a triangle in there. You know what a triangle is. We did this 3 days ago. Why did you just draw circles? It was adorable, though. I actually kind of miss those days. It was really fun getting to hang out with him all day. Although, I will say there's one thing I won't miss. The fact that his mom made the mistake of letting him watch wrestling with her. By the way, for all of you new parents out there, or if there are any new parents that watch this eventually, don't let your kids watch wrestling. It's a really... damn it. Oh well, I have Pippi back on. Actually, I have an antidote back on. But yeah, no, the reason I say don't let your kids watch wrestling is because, my nephew learned what no means by watching wrestling, and he picked up this weird habit from a very specific wrestler whose catchphrase was, "No, no, no!" I can't remember who the fuck the wrestler was. But anytime he didn't get his way for like 5 months after seeing that wrestler on TV, anytime he wouldn't get his way, he would scream, "No, no, no!" at everyone. He also had a bit of a point in his life where, because of his mom letting him watch wrestling, he decided to try to elbow drop me while I was sleeping. It was his way of waking me up. And I got really, really used to the sound of... Because when I say elbow drop, this kid wouldn't just, you know, walk up and... No, he would climb up on the couch, jump, and slam down on my ribs. And I'm sorry, he wasn't that old, but he was a dense kid. I don't mean stupid either. He was a big boy. It really, really did hurt the first time he did that. Though, weirdly enough, I got used to waking up to the sound of him slapping his elbow. So, if I heard that while I was sleeping, my body would just instinctively tense up. You know, bracing for the hit. We'll never forget the day he figured out why he's not supposed to do that. Because, one time he did that, and he decided to do it off the back of the couch while I was, on the couch. He jumped, hit me in the throat, and he got to learn what paramedics were. Because he hit me in the throat, and because of a couple issues I've had in the past, I couldn't breathe. The freaking EMTs were actually afraid at one point that they were going to have to trach me. So, that's actually what stopped him from doing that, by the way. He did that one time too hard, and it caught me in the throat, and I was sitting there just going... I will give him this as a credit, though. He realized that people aren't supposed to turn purple. Whew. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, I've had a lot of people tell me that the counting thing, because it became such of a habit, or such a habit, because of my nephew. I've had people tell me that it's flat out annoying. You want to hear about something that happened to you? Was that meant to be a statement or a question, Dark? Fiddleback spider. I have never heard of those, but I'm guessing they're not exactly friendly little fuckers. What the fuck? Oh, hi, Sharky bitch. Yeah, that's one of those moments where I'd be going, fuck this! By the way, for the record, I really don't like spiders, guys. And there's the poison gone. And since my pippy has grown... Night, Freemander. Nom nom face. Okay. So, this time I am going to take a compass with me. Okay. I've never heard of a fiddleback spider. Or rather, never seen one. I've heard of them. They're not fun. Okay. So if north is that way, east would be that way. Or no, west would be that way. That's the way I have to go. And folks, hey Virgo Wolf. Alright. So, I'm going to spend the last little bit getting to, the island that I know I need to be at. If I am traveling straight west, I should actually come across both Luska and, or not Luska, both Abaya and the Megalodon's areas. So that's the first island. The island back there, I believe, is going to be the island I'm going to need to set up on. Yeah. Alright. Well, welcome to the stream. And go get some rest. Go get some rest when you bet. Sleep well when you go get some rest. Brain. There's going to be a visible whale corpse somewhere, I believe. That may be the island we have to set up on. The corpse would be somewhere out that way. I'm not going straight west. By the way, folks, I'm not actually going to be setting up the fight with the legendary right now. I am, however, going to attempt to put myself on an island that is close to it. So I'm going to be heading for that island right there. And we may go a couple minutes over our usual 2 hours tonight. Is it just a drizzle? Oh, wait. Pop the stoppy, stoppy thing. Pop the stoppy thing. Pop the stoppy thing again. Well, there's some Pippi. There we go. Anyways, give me just a second, guys. Sorry about that. I muted my mic because somebody in my household was yelling. But yeah, more than likely, I'm fairly certain I'll hate it no matter what because I'm an arachnophobe. So... anyways, I'm going to check on the map and see if I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Awoo.
Excuse me. Woof. Yes, I am. So if I go straight west from where I'm at, I will meet Abaya. The Great Abaya. So you know what that means, guys. Monday. Monday we'll be trying to kill the Great Abaya. And after him, we know where to go to, because Abaya from the Uncharted Quiet Island is also, if I go straight northeast, I'll meet the Megalodon. And you know what? I think that's northwest, not northeast. Or not, I think that's northwest, not straight north. Anyways, folks, we didn't go over our time, thankfully. But anyways, if you enjoy the gameplay or the commentary, give us a like. If you want to keep up with this or any of our other content, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Become part of our notification squad so you can see when we upload and when we go live. But for now, this is Kitthesoulless signing off. Oh, so until next time, everybody, bye-bye. And yes, guys, I will be on the freaking Discord tonight, so yay. If you want to stop on by and say hi, feel free. Anyways, until next time, everybody, toodles.